Welcome back to my channel. In this episode I will be discussing the film Bombshell. This is a 2019 release directed by Jay Roach, starring Charlize Theron, Nicole Kidman, Margot Robbie, John Lithgow, Malcolm McDowell, Alison Janney and lots of other very impressive names. It's a star-studded cast, although you won't recognise most of them because they're under heavy prosthetics, and that is how I came to discover this film. Yeah, I was vaguely aware of the title. I knew there was a film called Bombshell. I think I probably knew who was in it as well, but it hadn't really popped up on my radar until one day I was surfing YouTube, and one video led to another video, and eventually I found myself watching a video about a special effects makeup artist from Japan called Kazu Hero. He's a very famous guy. I'm not sure if I pronounced his name correctly. If I didn't, I apologise sincerely. Anyway, he's a very famous, extremely successful and celebrated special effects makeup wizard. He had recently won the Oscar for Best Makeup for Darkest Hour starring Gary Oldman, and in this video he was discussing his recent work on the film Bombshell, which I had only vaguely heard of. The video showed him demonstrating the prosthetic applications that he used for actress Charlize Theron to transform her from herself into Megyn Kelly, the character that she was playing. Now, Megyn Kelly is someone that most Americans would probably recognise. She was a huge star on Fox News and various other broadcast television programmes. She was a big name and she was a recognisable face. She's a character that when portrayed in a film you need to find an actress who looks like her and then hire a very good special effects makeup artist to make her look even more like her. Now, I had no idea who she was. I had never heard of Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly? I don't know. Never heard of her. She meant nothing to me. I had never seen a single news article about her. I'd never seen a clip of her. If I had seen a clip of her, it had gone in one eye and out the other because it wasn't relevant to me. I'm a Brit. I know Holly Willoughby. I love Holly Willoughby. So, although I had absolutely no idea at all who Megyn Kelly was, I could see from this video that the prosthetics made Charlize Theron look exactly like her. I mean, the spitting image. It was uncanny. It was very impressive. And that alone would have made me want to watch Bombshell instantly. But in this video, he also demonstrated his makeups on the other stars, on Nicole Kidman, on John Lithgow, on lots of other people. It looked like a very impressive film based purely on real life characters being depicted by Hollywood stars under heavy prosthetics. So I streamed it on Amazon, and I was very glad I did. It was a good film. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but I found it quite hard to follow, and here's why. I'm a Brit. I had no idea who any of the characters were, and I think this is the main failing of the film. It assumes that every single person in the audience knows exactly who is who and what they're up to. I won't tell you what the story is, except to say that it focuses on the huge scandal, the pre-Me Too scandal involving Roger Ailes, who was the founder and CEO of Fox News, who was accused by 23 women of sexual assault. This film focuses on a small group of those 23 women who came forward, accused Ailes of sexually assaulting them, and everything that happened around that story. Of course, at the time it was a huge big deal. Me Too hadn't happened yet. It was pre-Kevin Spacey. It was pre-Harvey Weinstein. It was a scandal that shocked the nation. It shocked America. Britain didn't particularly notice. The film also features the relationship between Megyn Kelly and Donald Trump, which of course is of a lot more interest to me because although he's not my president, he is the man who ultimately is going to destroy the entire planet upon which I happen to reside. Don't get political. Don't get political. It was an antagonistic relationship. They didn't get along. She upset him. He did what he does. He tweeted lots of lies and abuse. He's a nasty don't get political. Namyo Horenge Kyo. Let's move off Trump. Although Megyn Kelly is clearly the central character of this film, she was not in fact the central character in the scandal upon which the film is based. She was a peripheral character at best. Her main contribution happened long after lots of the other women had come forward and after Roger Ailes' fate was already pretty much sealed. However, her confirmation that she was also a victim of sexual abuse certainly added weight to the story, it added fuel to the fire, and it added credibility. She was a very, very famous face on Fox. She was known, she was respected, and people thought, if she's coming forward and saying it happened to her, then probably it is true. She helped the case a lot, and she was very close friends with several of the women who were victims of Roger Ailes' sexual predatory behaviour. So she has every reason to be a part of the story. The fact that the film Bombshell focuses on her as a central character is a little bit strange, especially if, like me, you're not an American and you're not familiar with any of the characters or any of the story. It makes it, at times, a little bit hard to follow what's going on, because in order to justify her position in the central role, they featured a lot of other peripheral background matter about her life and her career that had no bearing on the actual story that was being told, and kept making me wonder, am I watching a film about Donald Trump? Is this going to be a scandal film about Donald Trump? Or is it going to be a film about Rupert Murdoch? Rupert Murdoch features in the film, played by Malcolm McDowell. Rupert Murdoch's two sons feature in the film, played by actors who are brothers, but I can't remember their names. All of this, for me, was a little bit confusing because it wasn't a story that I was familiar with, and the characters in it were people that I wasn't familiar with. The story lurched backwards and forwards a little bit in order to give Charlize Theron screen time and to keep her character front and centre. The main character in the actual story, the true hero of the story, historically, is actually Gretchen Carlson, played by Nicole Kidman. She was the first one to come forward. No one believed her, she was fired, her life was ruined. However, she was a very smart and intelligent woman. She didn't just come forward out of the blue and spill the beans about Roger Ailes and his sexually predatory behaviour. She recorded him in secret over a long period of time. She gathered evidence. She met in secret with lawyers and built a case, and only when her case was solid, only when she was ready, did she come forward, go public, and accuse the man of sexual harassment. Margot Robbie is a very good actress and she does a very good job. She holds her own on screen with Nicole Kidman and Charlize Theron. However, the other two are under heavy prosthetics, they are playing real life recognisable known characters, whereas Margot Robbie's character is a composite and feels like a composite. She's not wearing prosthetics and all of her scenes feel a little bit like they were created in order to give exposition and to make certain points. Did I enjoy the film? Yes, I did. I loved it very much. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a film that I will definitely watch again. However, it took me quite a long time to get into it because I had no idea what was going on. I didn't know who the characters were and I didn't know what story to expect. Even though I was confused in places and didn't 100% follow the plot, I still enjoyed it and found it interesting enough that I spent several hours reading about the real events and watching documentary footage and YouTube footage relating to the events because it had piqued my interest. The film entertained me while I was watching it, it educated me about events about which I had previously been unaware, and it inspired me to do further research into those events. That is a good film. It's a successful film. It's a film worth watching. So, Bombshell, 7.5 out of 10. I would have given it an 8 out of 10 if I had found it a little bit easier to follow, but that's not entirely the film's fault. But it could have made a bit more of an effort to explain things to people like myself who aren't actually American viewers of Fox News. 7.5 out of 10, Bombshell. Gets a thumbs up from me. So that's all I have to say about that. Thank you very, very much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, you know what to do. Please hit the red subscribe button. It costs you nothing and it helps me out a great deal. A thumbs up would also be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. Until next time, see you later.